All right, guys, welcome back to Culture EXE, and today we're talking about you nasty little quiet quitters. Get your ass in there, and you will work for peanuts. 80 hours a week, nothing else. No lunch breaks. Get in there. No, I get it. Um, I'll be doing a couple videos on like the Gen Z approach, like what they're dealing with as they are entering the job market and the realizations they're having, uh, and I found I don't necessarily disagree with them on the kind of the fundamental levels, how they're approaching it. Probably not how I do it, but yeah, I wanted to kind of touch on what quiet quitting is and why I think it's not like the most negative term if it's done. I mean, it seems like a negative term, but it's not the most negative thing if done properly. But let's see what it is exactly.
Process of escaping your job to try and build your own business so that you can have more purpose and fulfillment in life, and that you actually design your life and take full control rather than giving away the control to an employer and having your life totally assigned for you. So again, I have to say, this video and quiet quitting and walking slow, do not go for promotions. Work smart, not hard. This video is only for
This is my thing. Working smart, not hard. I've always tried to do this. Ideally, you're working hard and smart, but work smart first. I used to I've mentioned before, I used to work in banquets, so I worked in banquets for like 7 years. So I got pretty good in understanding of like setting up and like flipping rooms, which is kind of like can kind of be a mess if you're really busy. But anyways, I had a manager come in and the manager would do he would do the plans, but we had to do the work. And this would probably get on his nerves, but I'd always take his stuff and like, hey, we're gonna do this and this and this, and it makes sense to do this. And I think it drove him crazy sometimes, but he didn't have to do the work, so he didn't really care. I had to do the work, so I'm trying to do it as efficiently and uh, as easy as because a lot of times like, I could shave off hours of our night, you know, um, because banquets can go pretty late, and if you have to set up for the next day, you'll be there for till 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can if you do things right, you can really save a lot of time. So I don't know. I've just always been like that. Work smart.
people who want more from life and want to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. If you're happy to climb the corporate ladder, this video isn't for you. Okay, so what is quiet quitting if you don't already know? Well, essentially, it is mentally checking out of your job, still doing the tasks necessary within your job, but you are going under the radar and no one knows that you've mentally checked out because you're still fulfilling the role, but you are planning to eventually escape, or you're planning to shift or go to another job. But no one really knows about it. That's what it
See, for me, I'm not. I kind of take this tact, but like I come and I do my job. I try to do my job good, but that's because I'm not planning on leaving. I just do side stuff like this. I do some eBay stuff. I've always done eBay stuff. I've been doing eBay stuff since I was like 16 years old or something. And my thing is, I just try to keep my stress low. I care about my job, and if whatever they ask me to do, I'm going to do. Am I going to not do it? And if I had to work overtime, that's fine. I wouldn't want to work a ton of overtime, but I would do it if I had to for a short spurt. But yeah, I don't have the vision of like, oh, I'm coming in, I'm doing exactly this, and eventually I'm out of here. And that's not my tack. Like, but I mean, I could see people needing if someone is like really like this guy's had a plan for a business, like a very like he had a strict plan. I'm going A to B, and I'm working this job, and when I get at B, I'm gone. Um, and I guess if I made enough money on this channel at some point, if I ever started getting views, that'd be great. But maybe I'd leave, but it would take a lot. I don't necessarily want to leave. I work in tech, so like if you leave for like 4 years, that just doesn't look good. You really want to try not to do that. So I don't know. I definitely have a different approach than what he's talking about.
should be. It's that self-mastery of ticking all the boxes within your day-to-day job and fulfilling the role, but yet you have mentally checked out, knowing that there is bigger and better on the horizon and you shouldn't be telling any of your co-workers. That's essentially what it is. It's essentially what I did when I was planning for years to get out of my job and I was building a business on the side. Now, everyone has, let me remind you, two options as an adult. You can design your life or you will be assigned one. You can
So there's a couple of things to say with that actually. And like I said, he's talking about exactly what he did, which is fine. If you have that ambition and you have clear-cut goals and you're very confident, go for it. But there are two things, right? Like doing what he did, there's, and I don't necessarily disagree with like doing this. That's great, but there is something comforting if you have a stable job and it's not super stressful. Um, you just go in and you're getting a paycheck. You don't have to worry about too much stuff. But if you're running a business like this guy and you're having to hire people, you're taking on way more responsibility. You're going to be working a ton, which fulfillment might be higher, and you're going to probably generate more wealth doing it. But yeah, choosing those two lanes, like what someone's going to dictate what you're doing versus you dictating what you're doing. If you're just trying to coast, you're doing the quiet quitting job, or just working the job and climbing the ladder, which I don't recommend. People that try to climb corporate ladders is just it's a lot of politics. Anyways, he just talks about kind of like his whole story after this. Let's see what she has to say here.
Business Insider recently did a whole story on me quiet quitting, why I did it. One of the funniest parts for me is that I literally just say like, yo, I quiet quit my last job. And I specifically chose a job that I could quiet quit. I showed up to my job. I just didn't go an above and beyond because there wasn't any talks of any.
So I don't like her. The way she phrases that is it sounds so negative. To me, she took the job to pay the bills. Like it's not negative. You didn't I don't know, it just sounds negative. I took a job I specifically could quiet quit. You're just coming and doing a job so you can get a paycheck so you can work on something else. I don't know. That's not the most negative thing. But yeah.
Any guaranteed pay raises, any clear career path, any job structure. And so I was like, cool, then what am I staying loyal to? Doesn't make any sense. And there's a reason that I left that job. I left my job because basically they were asking me to do tons of different job responsibilities that weren't the job responsibilities that I signed up for when I initially was hired for the job. They changed my job title. That made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's really, really annoying. So there's two avenues with this, right? I mean, first off, if they're just changing your job because they want to. I mean, there's like you could look at it like this, like if they came to her and be like, "Hey, your job is being kind of phasing out. Instead of firing you or laying you off, you can take this job." They could have. It doesn't sound like they gave her that option, which it was basically that option. I don't know if she refuses it, she can be fired. But I'm in a situation very similar to this, where I took on a job role, and my job role is going to slowly shift to something else, which I have no problem with. Like I said, I like who the company I work for. I'm not trying to climb the corporate ladder, so to speak, with them, but I like the job. I'm going to stay at the job. Work-life balance is great. And yeah, I mean, if they ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. So that's kind of my take. But it is really annoying that they do this. And the other thing is she talks about they're not offering increased compensation. I think that's really crappy, and it happens constantly that you're not offered more money, but they're giving you more tasks. Not switching your tasks. You have your task plus more tasks. Like they fire someone and you take over that person's whole position, and they give you nothing for it. Happens all the time, but it's a real shit move.
And at the end of the day, I really believe that our department specifically didn't move the needle in the company's initiatives, and that was proved as layoffs happened twice, and our department was affected by those layoffs twice. And so they were basically like, we need you to sign off on these things. Like, are you going to do this every day? Are you going to do this every week? And I was like, no. Like, I was quiet quitting here. I didn't say that part, but like, I was quiet quitting here to teach myself how to run a business on my own. But I literally was having to say no to things content creation related for this job if I were to sign off on those things. And it was like, I can go make more money on my own. Like, this was fun, but where are you when?
Yeah, so that's another thing that I guess they make her sign like an NDA or it's a non-compete agreement is what they're called. I had to sign one of these like back in the day. I just think they're really crappy that you're gonna learn these skills and like you can't just leave and use them. Uh, it's really rough. That sounds like what they were trying to do to her. Like they were making her sign this stuff so she couldn't go work on her business. And I would have said no too if I was like in her shoes. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'll keep doing this job and I'm not signing that thing. So
Am I going in this company? Why would I say no to all the future opportunities that I have right now with my own personal brand for a company that's not even going to tell me what quarter, what year a pay raise would even be available, how much percentage is the approximate. Also, jobs forecast pay raises. Big company, if you work for one, is never going to hire you and not actually consider the projections of your pay raises down the line. So when they sit there and they go like, we don't know if we have the budget yet, we don't know what this pay raise would look like, they've already calculated that in the past. More things in the company have changed and they have to now recalculate everything, and they're stalling. So they're sitting there like considering all the factors and being like, I don't know, let's just work really hard so we can put in a good word for you when we do get a raise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a situation like this, you just come and do your job, and maybe you could look for a new job, because that'd be the easiest way to get a pay raise. That's kind of a common thing in tech, is you have to kind of job hop, which I don't like. I think it's really stupid. Because like if they're gonna leave, just give them the raise, for the same money if they can afford it. But I mean, I guess they always can't. All right, we'll close out on this guy.
If you're a person who shows up to work, does just what your boss tells you to do, you never do extra, you never stay late, I have a message for you. You are right. You're not just right, you're smart. Because quiet quitting is just doing the job you were hired to do within the schedule you were hired to do it. If a boss has a problem with that, they're the ones who wrote the job description. They're the ones who made the schedule. And they are not entitled to extra free labor. I don't know who told them they were. And let's be clear, employers aren't upset that you aren't working hard. You can be working very hard.
So the problem with that is, I mean, first off, I agree with him. Like, you're hired to do a job like you go and do the job, go home, have your free time. I 100% agree with that. And I live by that as the best I can. But the problem is especially in the job markets like this, where employers really have a lot of power over you, you might not have a choice. Like they might just be like, yeah, if you don't work these long hours, you're going to get fired or whatever. They're going to make your life a living hell. So that's like that's just a massive problem, right? That's why, I say, like, to me, quiet quitting my term of quiet quitting is just getting a job that you can do. It really just let you have a nice work-life balance. Low stress, man. That's my thing. Low stress. And it's why I like my job so much. Like right now, it might change in the future, but yeah.
They're just upset that you're not working extra hard to help them earn extra money.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like with the other girl, they weren't giving her raises, and they wanted her to do I mean, really, they just wanted her to do do like additional tasks. But like if you're reaching other people's goals, so they're getting bonuses and you're getting nothing, it's just complete shit. It is complete. It's just such bullshit.
That's what this is really about. If your boss wants extra from you, they need to do one of two things. Option one, they need to pay you for the extra work. Option two, and this is harder, they need to step up and be a leader, because all effort expended by an employee is an investment, and they want to see a return on that investment. If you ask them to invest extra effort and they yield no extra return, it's a bad investment. They're not going to keep doing it. So
yeah, I mean, so just to wrap this up, I mean, quiet quitting to me, it sounds like such a negative term, and it's really not. They associate Gen Z with this and maybe millennials too, but it's really you're not selling your soul to some company so that they can make a bunch of money. You want the work-life balance, you want the raises, you want the some people want the options to raises and promotions, or they just want low stress and great work-life balance. But I see why Gen Z is getting into the corporate world and seeing the shit show of the 9 to 5, which I did a whole video on, and how just draining and soulless it is. Like people just want to be able to go in, make money, pay their bills, and just live a life. So yeah, that's my take on quiet quitting, guys. If you like what we got going on here, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you disagree, let me know. I'll be reading comments, and I'll catch you guys next time.